The Nation Cup continues! Sweden against Ukraine. The battle for #1 in Group D continues. We have Tomb of the Spider Queen as our first map. 16 teams signed up for the European Qualifier. Well, to be told, more than 16 teams signed up for the European Qualifier, but 16 countries signed up for it, and therefore we have four groups with 4 teams each. Only the top 2 out of each group advance to the next round of the tournament, where we have an 8-team round robin. So it's pretty much like a league, like a season, and the top 4 will then go to Berlin, the offline event at the 10th and 11th of June. And it's going to be a fantastic event. We're going to host the entire thing at the Experian in Berlin at the Alexanderplatz. A fantastic venue. A link is in the video description if you're watching this at YouTube. You can check out some of the pictures to get an idea of the Experian. It's fairly new, great venue, and you can see some of the previous tournaments that they hosted and what the location looks like. Entrance is free. If you want to come and visit, you're more than welcome to do that. There's a lot of people in the community that already started to book themselves hotels, Airbnbs, flights, trains, car sharing, and yeah, it's been awesome to just see the community come together and trying to plan this event. But we get 1 team from North America, we get 4 European teams, 1 team from Asia. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome event, so if you want to be part of it, have a look at the links and the details. In this case, we have both the Swedes and the Ukrainians with 2 match wins in this group, and both of them are so far undefeated. So once again, it's a question of which team is able to get first seed within the group. Every single group so far has been dominated by 1 team. In Group A, it was the Germans that took it with 6-0 map score. In Group B, we had the Russian team, the Russian players take it with 6 maps to 0. And in Group C, the French, as expected, with Nagrom, with Masquerade, they Quasar. I mean, again, like powerhouses. They also claimed it without losing a single map. But again, that's to be expected in the group stage. You always want to make sure that in the group stage you have the top teams spread out across all of the groups. The underdogs can try and cause a bit of a an upset and set up the opponent for failure. But so far, the favorites, they've performed well. And I can't wait to see all of these guys clash in the round robin with 8 teams remaining. It's gonna be glorious. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our first map in this particular series, though, so we're currently trying to figure out if the Swedes can claim victory here as well, or if Ukraine is now coming in and takes them down. Whichever team wins the series takes first in the group. On the left side, we got currently Brightwing, Hogger, and Anubarak here for Tomb, and with Diablo and Hanzo, we have the Ukrainians playing very similar to what we've already witnessed previously, especially Diablo for Dinado has been a staple. Genji getting banned, no risks being taken over here. And Mr. Lauber himself on Anubarak up at the front. It's been really cool to see some of the players that came back for Meta Madness and for the Nations Cup. And Denmark, for example, is playing with Crosby as well, which is just awesome to see some of the HTC boys back in the lobbies. So yeah. Anduin banned, so no Diablo heavy engage going full aggressive just to be pulled back by Anduin whenever the opponent turns against him. We have Hanzo for vision on the turn-ins, for also the interrupts whenever the channel is started by an opponent's hero. And with a double pick here, we still need a little bit more wave clear. Blaze, yes, Blaze is taken, and Deckard Kane could still go for a mage to add some additional wave clear. And talking about mages, given that Anubarak is taken on the side of Sweden, I'm a bit curious to see what else they're going to get. This is the one map where we could maybe have gotten the Murky from Swamp Grota. Every single time I see him, I'm thinking Murky, and I know that he would love to play it, but against Ukraine, they want to make sure that they're performing well here, so they're not risking losing a game, and then all of a sudden they come in second place in the group instead of claiming victory right away. We got Gia and we got Skog with Chromie and Maiev. Very powerful once again. They are not relying on Stukov this time. They had a similar composition in one of the previous matches already. Back then with Stukov. Now we're getting Brightwing for more CC. And, well, final pick. Let's go, everybody. What's gonna be it for Ukraine? More damage needed. A bit more wave clear needed. What's the solution? It is Tychus. Alright. The Renegade in the house. Tychus, Blaze, Diablo. We get Deckard and Hanzo for them. Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's the first map. Sweden against Ukraine. Game number 1 in the best of 3. Sweden against Ukraine. On the left, Svamkrota with Hoggai. Henning on Brightwing, Lauban on Uburak. Gia playing Chromie and Skok on Maiev. Towards the right side of the map, their opponent, it's Ukraine with Icecorp on Tychus. We have No Game Life on Hanzo. Denardo on Diablo, Arabano on Blaze, and Blu-ray is playing Deckard Cain. Haven't seen the old man in a hot minute, so here we go again. Stay a while and get wrecked. But we get the grenade build for Tychus on level 1. Chromie again with the deep breathing. And immediately a full volley of arrows straight to the face. But on the other hand, with Chromie, that's an improvement. So, yeah. Now, we have for Nubarak on the level 1 Regeneration Master. So, it's time to get some globes in. And this is obviously one of the best map. Is the best map to get globes. Just hands down. This is one of the maps where you have the easiest time rotating between lanes and grab some globes. I guess you could make an argument for Blackheart's Bay and top and mid lane, but obviously it's not a map that we normally see in the map pool. The only few occasions where it has been played recently was during Meta Madness in Meta Mapness. 2 tournaments that we recently hosted to bring back Blackheart's Bay, Haunted Mines. So if you missed any of that, I would heavily recommend that you check out the playlist that you can find on YouTube with the 2, especially Meta Madness was of course as usual a highlight. And if you are looking for crazy compositions, you should definitely have a closer look at the group stage in particular. Also, in case that you are thinking about going to the main event in Berlin, we have currently some Nations Cup merch also in the shop, just got released a couple of days ago. Looks pretty awesome, to be honest. You guys wanted to have more collections, and we added some more things. We still have HGC going strong with the Heroes Gaming community, but for all of that stuff you can take a look at the description and the link to the shop if you want to keep an eye on those. Not only like the shirts, but also mugs and other stuff. Very happy, by the way, with the quality of all of it. Took a long time to finally set a shop up, but we finally done it. And I have pretty much all of it myself, with the exception of the Nations Cup collection, because it's simply too new. Didn't get a chance for that yet. Level 4 talents are in. Bed of Barbs is ready. And what we have right now is also Hoggers, Joggers, and On the Prowl. Down to the bottom of the map with Brightwing jumping in. They're trying to make a play for Blaze, and Arabano made it out as Tychus decides in favor of In the Rhythm on level 4 and attempts to get some stacks in. So, yep, he wants to play around the minigun duration a little bit more. Doesn't fully commit to press the advantage or any of those shenanigans, but good stacking on the first one. 10 stacks right away. That is pretty decent for the first minigun rotation that he got out. But they're losing 2 heroes in this fight. Only Lauber died. Did Lauber die first? Lauber died first. Okay, Lauber pulled a Lauber. Didn't die in the first minute though, so I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really count. But he still died first. It's starting to become more of a meme than anything else. At a certain point it was actually truth. Every single game started with him just dying in the first minute, but these days he is a lot more reliable when it comes to that. So much harder to take down lately. In this case, though, he still is the first one to fall. 9 stacks for his Anubarak on level 1. Both teams with decent gems, but look at the difference in the amount. We have 52 gems already for Sweden, and the Ukrainian team is already trailing behind here. Yeah, by quite a bit. Now, Gia getting attacked down here. Alright, gets the hits in. They go for the tether, and this might be the end of Tychus. He falls. Tychus is gone. And, well, that is kill number 3 for the blue team. So the Swedes, as usual, are performing quite well here, going for Diablo once again, and this is the second death of Diablo. So he dies again, and they are starting to really struggle. The Ukrainian team having trouble now. They so far haven't dropped a single map, but the same is also true for the Swedes. Oh, Skok nearly getting Hanzoed. That was very, very close. Barely missed out on the kill. But here come the level 7 abilities for the Ukrainian team. Now there is an entire level lead nearly for them. It's all about turn-ins at this point, and also the timing of when exactly you're trying to pull that one off, because if the Swedish team is able to not only turn in but also claim level 7 around the level 10 around the same time, then that would be an absolute devastating opportunity for the Swedish team, from the perspective of the Ukrainians, of course. Siege Giants are already taken, and just look at this down here at the bottom of the map. They're trying to go for the... Oh my god, no, they're not only trying, they're going to get the kill, aren't they? Blaze is down, the gems at least claimed by Hanzo. Can they maybe get a counter kill? They're trying. Gia alive, and more damage done. Chromie makes it out, so that was a success after all for the Swedish team. And as I say, Maiev gets caught and crushed. Yeah, that's the counter kill. So, 5 kills to 2. Well done, good rotation from the Ukrainian team, able to avenge Blaze and also collect his gems, which is even more important. Chromie. Oh boy, she is such a nuisance, isn't she? Chromie is so insanely annoying, and once again she gets big damage out. They're going for Tychus, and he's dead. More kill potential as they're aiming for Deckard Cain, and the old man bullied and destroyed. Bottom of the map, Denado still trying to get out. Both of them getting closer and closer to a committed turn-in. 1 gem is all that's missing for the Ukrainian team to get their web weavers. But I guess Henning is now going to seal it for Sweden. Or not. Hanzo sniffing that attempt out and interrupting it right away. Structurally, though, the red team is falling behind. The level 10 abilities that we have in play for Sweden are, of course, already giving them a pretty significant edge that they can use in all of this. But walls have been destroyed. Blue team is now finally going to get their web weavers. And I assume that there's a realistic chance for Sweden to now also destroy a fort or two, because the fort at the bottom of the map is already down to 50% of his HP, so I don't really think that they can hold this one. Middle of the map, the attack continues. Web weavers are pushing in. 16 stacks for Nubarak. And down here, Hogger against Blaze. This one should be a given. But what's happening in the middle of the map? Because they're actually comboing it off with a camp that they just took. And oh my god, no! Hanzo! And he's dead. Hanzo is down, even with Diablo going for the barbecue play. It's not going to stop them. Instead, Dibbles nearly died and barely made it out of the fight. But with this low on HP, he has to still retreat, and that means they're abandoning the fort in the mid lane. So 2 structures will be taken down at the bottom of the map. We've already had the fort being dropped, and the one at the top lane is also getting murdered by the web weavers. What an insanely effective push by the Swedes. They're coming in, and with the first web weaver wave, they are destroying all 3 forts on the red team. This is such a massive lead that they now got. They're snowballing this one hard. And it's going to turn into an avalanche if they can take a bit more here. Not only did they destroy the 3 forts, they also destroyed the wall at the bottom of the map, and even the keep itself has taken some damage. So, this is nasty. This is absolutely insane. Now the problem is, of course, that the red team could still turn in. They only need 1 gem for web weaver wave. But look at this. Ice Corp is about to get murdered by Maiev. There's the tether, 1 hit, 2 hits, Tyke is gone, and they're still continuing. The Vault of the Wardens to save Maiev. They're turning it again with another dive of a Nubarak and a follow-up stun. And the Ukrainian team is just struggling and struggling and struggling to stabilize. This camp is going to be stolen away. With the 4 heroes that they have, they will not be able to commit to the defense, and they have to be very careful that they're not going to get too close, because if they do, they might lose hero. Hoarder pull is being used. They're trying to go for Denado. Damage done. No tether in this case, though. But Dibbles still had to slowly move out of harm's way, or he would have been next on the menu. So they have 77 gems, the Swedes, and they could try and turn in right now. The blue team is attempting to control the turn-in spots as best they can, so that there's no chance for Ukraine to deliver that 1 gem that they're still missing to get their own turn-in. That would allow them to push the lanes back a little bit, give themselves some breathing room here. But instead, the Swedes are going for Siege Giants, and they're also going for another turn-in. So 2 web weavers in a row. We already have 29,000 damage for Hogger. And with web weaver wave number 2 and Siege Giants at the bottom of the map, they should be able to get a keep now. So this is gonna hurt. And it's gonna hurt a lot. Unless the red team can get a kill, unless they're somehow able to maybe get a good arrow from Hanzo, they will be in trouble here. So they're pushing the lanes out to get those web weavers to the front. Hogga is down at the bottom of the map, whereas the rest of the team is moving towards the middle. It's only Maiev at the top that is trying to turn another minion wave to dust so that the web weavers get accelerated a bit. They're attacking on 3 lanes at once now. So they will move together fairly soon, I would guess, but for now, they're just trying to get damage done on multiple keeps at the same time and spread the opponent's forces thin. 13 versus 13 talents, but not for long, because with them spreading out on 3 lanes, they also got closer to level 16, which is of course going to give them a massive advantage in the team fight once that it's there. The arrow is out, Brightwing jumps out, though disc is being used. The old man with his ult, but it's not going to be enough. They can't get the kill, and now they're up against an opponent that runs a level 16 talent advantage over them. Big barbecue play! Oh, what an ult from Diablo! And Nuburak is dead. Maiev is gone. They're chasing Brightwing and they're popping her as well. Trashwing is annihilated. And Gia might fall as well. Go. Yeah, he's gone. The problem is that they lost the top keep in the process. So they prevented the worst from happening. Svamgrota, he's at 36 gems. And Ping Pong's out of the fight. Nah, dodges out on Hanzo, but now the pressure is still on the Ukrainians. They have to somehow capitalize on this enough to close the gap a bit more, and the goal for them is go for boss, try and get that, turn in, go for the double whammy, and then, yeah, do the best you can to try and equalize things a little bit. And if they can, I'm not quite sure. Defense is already coming in. That boss, it's a problem. And Nuburak, if he dives, doesn't even have to. So the boss isn't taken yet. They haven't really gone for it. And Hanzo's already dead. It's a disaster. It's a total disaster for the Ukrainians. They claim the boss. At least they could do that. There were too many stuns involved. The boss is gone. The problem is that everybody else is gonna die. Everybody else is dying. Maiev survived. Deckard Cain is dead. Tychus is dead. Tychus will fall. And so will Blaze. Everybody is down. They couldn't get it in time. All the gems are lost. And now a play for core can be made, or for the keeps in the middle, whatever they desire. The Swedes absolutely ruthless as they are looking to get the victory in game number 1. They move through the middle. They play it safe. They take one of the keeps down first. And as they are approaching the bot lane, they're trying to go for all the structures here. They know that death timers are still low at the 12-minute mark, but if they can destroy all of the keeps on the opponent's side, while they still have most of their forts, then they are, of course, going to be in a prime position to win this game one way or another. Hogga already getting attacked. The Hordepold is in. Svamgrota is trying to get away with the 39 gems that he's holding. Should be able to get out. Great arrow, hitting 3. But the fight's not over yet. Here comes the next engage. Dibbles to the front, trying to lock them down here. But the blue team is just falling back. They did all that they wanted to do. They were able to get all those keeps. And now it's just continuous catapult pressure from here on out on the core. Absolute disaster for the Ukrainian team. They were the back to the wall. They're going to try their best to somehow turn this around. They still have the gem that they could use to turn in, and that's what Hanzo just did up at the top. So Web Weavers are going to create some space for the red team. They will push these lanes out a bit, but I do not think that they can seriously threaten any of these forts. And guys, to make matters worse, the boss didn't even take this one down. The boss didn't even take the fort down at the top. So there is one catapult on every single minion wave from here on out that will pressure these lanes. The disc is in, pushing them back. Siege Giants at the bottom of the map together with the catapults are easily going to take care of the web weavers down there. So the bot lane is not a problem at all. They're chasing Svamgrota, and so they should, because he has 44 gems. Hanzo's not going to get the solo kill here, though. So, if anything, he needs to be careful, because, yep, you're not going to fuck with Svamgrota like this. He comes in and he kills you. He's going to kill you, he's going to kill your siblings, your parents, everybody that knows you. And he will ruin your life. Svamgrota mercilessly destroying Hanzo and just pushing out the bot lane even further. Joins the fight in the middle just to help his team to kill Deckard Cain. No respect for the elderly there either. And that is the end of Blaze and likely the end of the game as Diablo has fallen. Level 20 is in their hands. They go for the final kill on Tychus as it's another 5-man team wipe. 20 kills to 6. He's the only one that hasn't died yet, by the way. Svamgrota. 100 stacks for Tychus, by the way. Not a bad minigun duration, but it wasn't enough to turn this. And this is victory for Sweden against Ukraine in game number 1 of the best of 3 series in this Nations Cup Group D. Nicely done, well played, and a well-deserved victory by the blue team. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Garden of Terror, map number 2, Sweden with a lead against the Ukrainians. Pretty dominant performance on the first map. Now I gotta say that there was a moment where the Ukraine nearly brought it back, but at the same time, the Swedes, first objective, they took down 3 forts and then afterwards they just snowballed it even harder. So kudos to them. Very dominant performance. That is now map win number 5 in a row. And the big question, of course, still, can Ukraine win 2 in a row now and claim victory in this best of 3 series, or are they going to fall victims to the Swedes? It's a big map that we're going for now. Map was chosen by Sweden. We have Garden of Terror with Lucio instantly banned. And what's the strategy of the Swedes now? We have the Haka technically still available. Now, let's not forget, heroes that have been played within a series cannot be played again. Small adjustment, make it more interesting for the viewers. It's not meta madness, it's not that crazy, but it makes sure that you don't have to watch the same heroes over and over and over again being played every single game. Dehaka available, Falstad available, Vikings still there, so there's a lot that can be done here. One of the prime heroes that you normally would see on Garden of Terror is not up for pickings anymore. Hogger was played on the last map. Svamgrota's Hogger, by the way, is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. He crushed it in the last game, and he was also the only one that didn't die throughout the entire game. Now, Junkrat is banned. Bit of Overwatch hate over here. Genji, yeah, look at this. Genji, Junkrat, and Lucio all getting the axe. Do we get an early... Actually, it's actually really interesting now. Dehaka's up, Vikings are up, Falstad is up. This is a map where I've also seen Murky played by Svamgrota in the past. I don't think he's gonna pick it. It's gonna happen one day, though. He loves to do it. But I think this is a bit too serious here. So Dehaka is the one that gets banned, picked first. Gives you not only wave clear, global control. Really good pick for this map, obviously. I mean, Garden of Terror is one of the biggest maps in the pool. Normally when we're talking about supports, when Lucio is banned, you still are looking towards Rhaegar. Anything that can help you to take these camps quickly is usually a huge boon, and there he is in the first rotation for the Swedish team. Greymane, oftentimes a good choice here for teams as well that are focusing on taking mercenary camps and try to get more pressure on lanes against the opponent, forcing them to rotate, maybe away from the objective to get the Garden Terrors too. So, yeah, that is. But this is a map where you can go for curveball or two, for sure. For the Alliance! Anduin and Falstad. So, double global already. Okay. The Ukrainians with the Haka and with Falstad. Which is also cutting down the options a bit for the blue team if they're still interested to pick some globals here. But then again, what are they banning out? There's no tank yet on the side of Ukraine, and we also need a bit more damage. So they get rid of Johanna. Yeah, Jojo is out. Dinardo already played his Diablo a bit earlier today. And now the red team can go for the final ban for this particular for this map. Tracer gets the axe. Okay. But here we go. Bit of a moment of a truth situation. What's the style going to be for Sweden? They need some damage. They have currently nothing to speak of, really. Rhaegar can jump around. Is it going to be a pick into Greymane? Yes, no. Are they going to decide to play something else? Greymane could go for the chicken, take Falstad down, take the camps. Be aggressive as he prowls the map. They could even enhance that with an Abathar pick and get a symbiote on top of him. Illidan and Greymane. Haha, the double whammy. Nice. Alright, alright. I expected Greymane. I didn't expect Illidan, but I'm a fan. I'm here for it. Big Illidan fan. Super fun to watch as a hero. Blizzard did him dirty with that portrait, by the way. Look at that nose. Look at that mouth. Look at that jaw. It's like, poor guy. They didn't do him any favors with this one. This is not a picture you want to have on your Tinder profile, I can tell you that much. I tried. But yeah, Garrosh and Jaina. Okay, the picks are in. We got the burst damage from Jaina. If they get a good connect with Garrosh and then maybe Dehaka in a lick, Jaina can crush targets fairly quickly. That leaves us with the final pick for this one, and it is Medivh played by Gia. Let's go, boys. Map number 2, Garden of Terror, Sweden against Ukraine. Game number 2, Sweden against Ukraine. Svamgrota with Illidan. Feel the hatred. Lauber playing Murden, Skog on Greymane, Gia on Medivh, and Henning rocking Rega. To the right side of the map, Falstad. Icecorp is not going to have a whole lot of fun here. The chicken is on top of the menu for both Illidan and Greymane, so he needs to be very careful with positioning, and they need to shield him a bit. Blu-ray with Anduin is going to have his work cut out for him, trying to keep him alive. No game, no life on Jaina, waiting for the ice block. We got Denado on Garrosh and Arabano on Dehaka. Now, both Greymane and also Illidan are great on camps and can easily take these, can go for structures, take them down. With the help of Medivh, they can sustain them through the team fights. And Illidan is already fighting himself at the bottom of the map. There's the drag, there's the flip, the portal is up, and Greymane is just, see ya, boys, I'm gone. So, this is still one of the best Illidan skills, by the way. So I always liked this one. I didn't really... honestly, the gay scuba diver does nothing for me. That's when you go for the white and blonde one. If you go for the other tint, it's not really that great, but the skin in general, no matter what tint you choose, is pretty meh. I don't like it that much, but this one is still pretty sexy. That also was nice. So first of all, Murden surviving is already crazy, but that Falstad also made it out of the battle. That is bonkers. There's the shield, and they're getting out. But yeah, Icecorp is able to move away from this one. And it really looked like he would be first blood in the game, but he made it. There's a drag against Illidan, so he's now gone too. Top side at the top right, we have 4 now. Camps claimed, 1 minute mark. Passing means that, of course, everybody is attempting to go straight in for some Siege Giants, take a couple of the Bruisers. We have Illidan, we got Greymane, we got on both sides really good tools. Jaina, for example, has fantastic clear as well that she can use for all of this. So that's another one. I also love the sounds of Illidan. He's just like jumping around the entire time. He's honestly like, he's been snorting cocaine all day long. He's just sitting there like, attack, 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 forward. I mean, Illidan is the perfect one-directional hero. He's just bouncing around all day, and the second that you have to retreat, he's in trouble. The moment that he can still pursue opponents, this is really where he is in his element, where he thrives. But yeah. So, we got on level 4 the Frost Armor for Jaina. We have also, again, Reverberation for Muradin. Illidan and his boy is still at the bottom of the map. And he went again into the Ballad Assault, so this should be followed up on level 7 with the stacking quest. Normally you want to make sure that you're going to get all of that done. The synergy between the two talents is pretty spectacular, and it's the normal build that we're seeing these days with Illidan, which is actually something that's a bit weird to say, because normally we don't get to see Illidan all that often, but with Meta Madness just recently, and now the group stage here at the Nations Cup producing a few Illidan games, you can still talk about normal builds and standard builds, I'd say. Lauber gets attacked, gets the shield, uses the Storm Bolt to put more pressure onto the healer, and they both die. They still all go for the camp. Falstad dead, Greymane dead, and Illidan is running around trying to get kills, but they lost the camp already. Here comes another portal for Medivh. They still haven't given up on the fight yet, but it seems that they're going to lose nearly everything. Portal is up, they both get out. A few more stacks for Medivh as he's trying to escape. And where is he? He even lost track. He's gonna die. He's gonna die, lose all of his stacks. That's 24, 25 stacks that he just lost. And all because Illidan said, no retreat, let's go. Boys, we got this. We're winning. And I was like, yeah, we're not. And he, of course, got out, but everybody else died. 4 kills to 2 in favor of the Ukrainian team now. And yeah, Illidan is probably quite happy with all of that, and he's still alright, but Medivh will be a bit salty because he lost a ton of stacks. Way too many to be happy with this. So, yeah, kind of unfortunate for him. Illidan, on the other hand, he's already back at it, at the top lane. Attack, 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 attack. Give him the blades. And he gets his stacks together. 4 stacks on the level 7. But Illidan effectively baited his entire team into a battle they shouldn't have fought. At least not for as long as they did. Nice connect on the Stormbolt. Don't think that they... Well, actually, they might get the kill. They should get the kill. There's a flip on Garrosh. Denardo is dead. The wall is open, so they can save everybody. But that was a solid move by them. And now with portal control, they can also rotate down to deal with the siege giants that have done some structural damage against them. Noteworthy that the first seed was still successfully claimed by Sweden. So they have seed number 1. And, well, Illidan, he's back at it. But yeah. Again, I love Illidan. It's just like so fun to watch him. Just even taking a camp is highly amusing. As the game continues, he's of course going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. He scales really well into the late game with the survivability that gets added to his kit. And it allows him to murder opponents. Oh, you're dead, girl. You're dead, honey. I'm sorry. That was the wrong way to go. Oh, Jaina. Oh, no. Not like this. Falling right into the trap. I mean, she was literally surrounded at that point. Didn't stand a chance. Now we got level 10 abilities. And for Muradin, it wasn't even a question. He's played by Lauba, so of course it's going to be Playmaker. The big question is still what's happening with Illidan. Is he gonna go for a bit of a safe choice, or is he just gonna hunt chickens all day long? He could definitely try and come in with a hunt here, and then Falstad will have to use his Gust over and over again just to get rid of him. Down to the bottom of the map, they're trying for another gank. Stormbolt is in, and they're actually doing a fantastic job with these ganks. It's getting a little bit nasty here. Now, Dehaka might survive all of this. Actually, he dies, but they could get a counter kill. But it's a bit nasty. Yeah, Henning with the Self-Ancestral. Portals, they're trying to make a play again for Jaina. She nearly gets saved, but dies. Hunt is used. Falstad gets attacked and is probably going to have to Gust. Yep. This is going to be something that we're seeing a lot more as the game continues. And Highscorp, you really need to get the hell out of there. You can't stay this close to him. Bot lane fight continues with Anduin getting destroyed. Here comes Dehaka, but they're losing the fort in the mid lane and the bot lane. They're losing both of them. It's 8 kills to 4. The momentum, the train, it's hitting. The Terry Tate pain train. It's coming. Choo-choo! And Illidan is the conductor. Stormbolt, Lauba with another kill that he sets up for the team, and Jaina pulls a Houdini and disappears in half a second. That's the 3rd time that she has died now. And Illidan is already back up at it. Falstad has moved back from the top lane. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to stay here alone, boys. I am not going to stay here alone. Not against the crazy guy with a blindfold. That's just not happening. So off we go. We got the camp stolen. And as all of the forts are slowly being demolished, it also means that Illidan can start chasing even more, since distance to safety is a big thing. Nice move by Blu-ray. I really, really like that light bomb that he had there. Now, Falstad is still getting crushed, so it's unfortunate for him, but that light bomb saved the day for Anduin. Nothing is going to save Garrosh, so that's another kill for them. 11 kills to 4, and just look at the momentum. That's one of the reasons why you take Illidan and why you're trying to go for such aggressive compositions, because if you play them well, you are just murdering the other team where it stands, and they are chasing them across the entire map, kill after kill. Level 13 talents now in their hands too. All of the forts destroyed on the side of Ukraine, and this is now the real risk. If at any point the red team gets a team fight victory and they make it over to the left side, if they overstate just a little bit, they have to cross the entire map, which is massive, to get back to safety and back to their keeps. And this is where Illidan can punish you so much. So whenever you start crossing the middle of the map now, you have to also think about how much time you need until you're back to safety. Now, it might never even come to this. Illidan is simply diving back out here, no problem for him. Goes towards the top. They were trying to catch him and they couldn't. But now we have Garden Terrors on every single lane. And I am not sure that Ukrainian team is prepared for this. Well, seems like, especially Anduin, yeah, he's not prepared for it at all. He goes down and Illidan just soloed at the top against Falstad and took him down. He's a bit low, so he can't deal with Denado just yet, but that also means that Jaina is all alone in the middle of the map, and she gets therefore destroyed within seconds. Dehaka dealing with the bot lane. 16 is so close now for the blue team, and they're already working on the first keep in this second game of the series. What a game, what a play by Sweden. Momentum from start to finish. These guys are totally crushing it. After destroying the keep in the middle, they're rotating to the top, continuing the play right here. Lauber looking for the next Stormbolt and the next Playmaker as Illidan is waiting for his cooldown to come back up, sitting at 15 seconds right now. Dehaka at the bot lane, 16 to 13. Both of the teams highly aggressive now. Dehaka back to business. The keep is low. The keep should fall. They're looking to take it, but they're retreating for now. Not quite pursuing this yet. They got their ults though, so they could. They are Illidan. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Jumps in. There's the taunt. They try the kill. Jaina with big burst damage. Medivh on 23 stacks, and this time Medivh goes, yeah, dude, no with me. I'm out of here. You guys can stay, it's fine, but I'm not dying again for this shit. I died earlier, I lost my stacks, we're not gonna play this game again. Muradin saved for a moment, but he still gets killed. No, Medivh! Not like this. Oh, he's dead again. Medivh is gone, the stacks erased. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. The poor soul over there. What can the red team do, though? They got 2 kills. They got a bit closer to level 16. They want to bridge the gap, and they're doing their best to do exactly that. It's 14 kills, 6. Oh, Illidan gets taunted! And he's alive, dead, alive, dead, alive. He's gonna die. Yeah, thank God he's gonna die. For a moment I thought he might survive. Actually, I think him jumping away towards the top is what killed him. Rega was close and put the portal in, the thingy in, the totem. And if he stayed a bit longer, maybe he would have gotten that Ancestral. But yeah, now we have the Blades of Azeroth. We got the Executioner, the double pull with a Glyph of Faith. Siege Giants at the bottom of the map that have to be dealt with, but the problem is that Dehaka will probably have to go to the top. Because the attack is coming, Dehaka has to help, and guess who's joining the fight once that he respawns? Yeah, the Illidonger. Mr. Illidong himself. He's like, wait for me, boys. Medivh is dead again, he's used to it by now. They're trying to go for the chicken here again as Greymane engages. Illidan! Oh, Arabano. Arabano pauses the game. The team seems to be ready. They had some problems earlier, if I'm correct, if I'm not misremembering here. But yeah, Illidan is already on his way. Svamgrota is gonna hunt them. And now there's also Siege Giants in the middle, Catapults in the middle, the core exposed. And of course, since Dehaka had to move towards the top, it also means that down here the Siege Giants and the minions that are coming in are gonna do some solid damage as well. So the situation for the Ukrainians is a bit shitty right now. They are in real danger. Now, Henning is a bit isolated. He's already used his Ancestral. Won't be able to use it here. Can maybe go for a bite and try to take Jaina down. Ice Garb, no mana. I mean, look at the mana just in general on those 3 heroes. They have nothing left. Falstad cannot gust here. So once that Illidan is in range for the hunt, he is going to go for it. And if he gets to Falstad, Falstad is dead. He's not going to be able to escape. The only one that is a real threat here at this point is honestly Dehaka. The rest can help out with a couple of auto attacks, but when it comes to ability damage, there's not really a whole lot to be had for them, and this completely ignores that Lauber can move in from the side, and that Skog on Greymane is also ready to absolutely crush them. So Illidan might not even be there in time. They might already be dead before. So I don't think that the Ukrainians are able to turn this fight up here around, even though it's technically, for the time being, a 4 versus 3. But it will change as soon as Illidan is in range, and then it's a disaster. Jaina is the top damage in the game. She's at 50,000, so it doesn't get much better than that. But in this fight, I don't see her adding a whole lot to the tally. 35,000 for Greymane in the meantime. Mid lane, again, the pressure here. Garrosh is back in 32 seconds. This is gone in a moment, and then the sea, even if there's another wave spawning just before they're locking in on the core, Siege Giants are going to take that out together with the catapults in no time. In absolutely none. So, well, we're going to figure it out in a second. We have 15 kills against 8 on the scoreboard now. Both of the teams are on level 16 talents, so that means that the Ukrainians at least are not trailing in talents and not playing with a talent disadvantage. But once that, whatever the issue is resolved, we are going to see what's happening here, and the Ukrainians are going to be in for a very, very rough ride. I think the Swedes will likely clean house at the top. And yeah, there it is already. We are back to business. Rega is still alive, and there's the kill as expected on Falstad. Anduin is dead. Rega is playing it out. Illidan hasn't hunted yet, but there we go. Bam! See ya! That's the end of Falstad. It might just be the end of the Ukrainians in this series. Look at Muradin. He's just hopping around, but the core already lost its shield and a few hit points. Yeah, Sweden, they are not going to waste any time here. They are going to go for gold. They know that they got this one in the back. The top keep is getting destroyed as we speak, and now they can take a 2-0 victory over Ukraine and win Group D with 6-0 maps. But of course, there's another structure that they could kill. And a few more heroes that they could murder. So, all in due time. 19% on the core. Falstad eats another Stormbolt. And Greymane turns around and grabs the kill. 14 points on the core. Muradin dies, the rest of them working on the bottom keep. Siege Giants, Illidan, everything is going for gold here. They're trying for Jaina. Once again, the ice block is only delaying the inevitable, I would say. Illidan still fine. They have the Ancestral back in 3 seconds. Jaina is already down. The Greymane Illidan duo is just destroying everything in their path. They are crushing them. Sweden goes, it's through Ukraine like hot butter through cheese, as the blue team takes the 6-0 lead in the group and therefore cements their first place. GG, well played. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.